I can only sit in the dining room if I am eating food. A long time ago, I mean something like 35 plus years, I was a wee little shit, 14-15, with a bit of a smart ass attitude. I worked at the local pizza place and generally liked my job. My manager was a young, 18-19 lady that the team would get high and drunk with after work, and typically just hung out and partied all the time at her apartment. Well, the owner decided that she was a little too young to be the manager, so he demoted her to assistant and hired a new general manager. We'll call him Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith ended the employee discount for food, and ended our perk of getting to eat messed up orders because he thought that we messed him up all the time on purpose. Plus he liked to eat anchovies right out of the can, gross. So he was all around not very popular with the kids on staff, including me. Another rule that he put in place was that during our breaks, we could not sit at any of the tables in the dining area unless we were eating something. But, he never specified what we had to eat. Cue the malicious compliance. At this point in history, another pizza chain that was famous for avoiding the Noid opened up a test pizza delivery place called Pizza Dispatch. This was a test to see if people would still like the pizza under a different name. The pizzas were 100% the same, the ingredients even had the original chain's name on the boxes. So one night during a really busy shift, I was told to go on break in 15 minutes, so I went to the payphone, we weren't allowed to use the store phones for unofficial business, and called up Pizza Dispatch. They took my order, didn't believe that I wanted it delivered to a different pizza place, but after I explained the situation, they were game. The guy probably didn't believe me still, but they delivered. They even expedited it for me. So 15 minutes go by, I go on break and I sit in the closet that we had for a break area until I hear Mr. Smith ask, "What the fuck are you doing in here?" The delivery guy reached into his bag and said, "I have a delivery for J.C. Macon." I stepped out and said, "That's me," under the blistering stare of Mr. Smith. I paid for the pizza, gave a very healthy tip for the speed, then went and sat down at a dining room table, opened my box with my pizza as Mr. Smith came up and tried to make me eat somewhere else. I said, "You said that we could only sit in the dining room on our breaks if we were eating. You bring your lunch every day, today, I brought mine." He got pretty mad, but I didn't push him far enough to get fired. But what did happen is that employees got our discount back, we were able to eat messed up orders, and Mr. Smith ended up teaching me a lot about work ethic, how to run a small business, complete inventory and compute the profit and loss statement each month. This was in the mid-80s, so we didn't have computers in the stores, we did it all on paper. I ended up working for him the entire time he was a manager at our small restaurant and followed him to another chain later on. I still think about him and the lessons he taught me from time to time. While he wasn't a great manager at the beginning, he ended up being a great leader and mentor. Note: I turned off notifications for this post since I am about to go to bed. Oh, and my wife says I am still a little shit with a smart ass attitude. I appreciate how Mr. Smith was like, "You little shit, let's be allies." Me and my anchovy eating habit feel attacked flushed. Great labor action. He was angry on the outside, but on the inside he was like, "This little shit's going places." Bless your wife. So many managers seem to think they have to rule by fear, strong hand, rather than trying to build up their employees and let them shine. I currently manage 12 and it's amazing how they respond when you invest in them and show them that you aren't gonna hang them out to dry when things go you. Lessons learned on both sides. Good deal. I had to look up what Noid was cause that made no sense to me. What lesson did he teach you there? I'm confused. Do you still keep in touch with Mr. Smith? If you can't beat M, join M. Are you still in touch with Mr. Smith these days? Great mentoring by Mr. Smith. Excellent story. Mr. Smith, I like the cut of your jib. My girlfriend says I am the R. I like your wife's description better. That last sentence LMFAO. So, it started with you teaching him a lesson, he took the challenge and tan with it smirk. No food discounts is a shit move, but the rest was reasonable to me. Employees sitting in the dining room, assuming it's possibly busy, isn't great. I can totally see teenagers messing up a pizza to get free lunch. As I was reading through the rules, he seemed like a good manager from the start. The owner was right, by the way, the 18Y. Was too young. You are remembering your side of this is a punk-ass 14Y. I don't know how you got so lucky that he mentored you instead of firing you for being a prick. Good malicious compliance though. A buddy of mine that owned a pizza place used to eat food from the restaurant next door in the lobby. It never was an issue, what with 90% of his business being delivery and him having lunch in the mid-afternoon lull. Well, until it was. A customer picking up a pizza stomped over and asked why he wasn't eating his own product. Sometimes you just feel like a burger, you know. And they make a really good burger. That was apparently the wrong answer, because she threw her pizza at him. After that, when he wanted a burger, he ate next door at the burger joint. Excellent, Mr. Smith taught you a lot, but only after you'd taught him quite a bit about being a decent manager. I think it's kind of beautiful in a way that your MC wound up leading to a great working relationship with Mr. Smith. Well done, you little shit. I have worked in several restaurants where we were allowed to eat messed up orders. There was always that one person who would intentionally mess up orders and we would all lose the privilege of eating the orders for a while. Ha ha ha, great story. The guys at the other pizza place would have had such a shock. I did not expect that twist. Would your wife be willing to also call me a little shit with a smart-ass attitude? The sign of a good manager is a willingness to change. This is one of the best MC stories I've read. Not only did it have MC but a good ending. This was very enjoyable. I once worked for a Domino's franchisee that was, at one point, the manager for a pizza dispatch. As you said, it was exactly the same food, just operating under a different brand name. He is still amused to this day by the number of customers that chimed in saying this pizza was so much better than Domino's. I didn't expect this to turn out to be such a heartwarming tale. I worked at Pizza Hut franchise in the early 80s and we would order from Pizza Inn down the street just because they had different stuff. Our district manager would lose his shush. Our manager, his little brother, thought it was funny as hell, but made us eat in back. It really says something about you that you were able to acknowledge all of the good things that Mr. Smith taught you. It really says something about Mr. Smith that he didn't fire you right away for that ordering a competitor's product stunt. I do think that you may have inadvertently taught him something then as well. This story definitely took a turn for the wholesome. Have a great day. A pizza test kitchen sounds great. I wonder what kind of crazy ideas they had and if they ever made it to the main pizza chain. Well played. Looks like he also learned a little from the smart-assed little shite. Find him and tell him this.